Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk to you about what separates great people from the average. And to put it simply, it's the habit of delaying acting on their emotions. This is such a powerful thing to incorporate into your life because most people don't have this power at all. Most people cannot delay acting on their emotions to save their lives, and that's why so many people live mediocre lives. Because if you want to live a great life, to create something incredible for yourself, you have to be able to conquer your emotions. And I don't mean not feeling them ever. That's not going to ever be the case for any of us human beings. We cannot rise above our emotions because, you can't even stop yourself from feeling them, right? They just naturally come up in you. You can't control them. So you aren't trying to stop yourself from feeling them. The goal is to delay acting on them because that's what you can actually control. You can control whether or not you act on any emotion that you feel. We have that power. So this is what separates great people from the average. And I urge all of you to put this into practice into your own life because it helps with your career, it helps with your relationships, it helps with your life in general. Because most people, when they're aiming at a goal, they get distracted by things. They allow themselves to pursue instant gratification and pleasurable experiences instead of going hardcore at their goal. And that's why so many people can't create an incredible career for themselves. So if you're able to delay acting on your emotions, then you'll still feel those distractions, but you won't take action on them. So you'll be able to set aside playing a video game in order to study, or you'll be able to practice a skill that you need for the job instead of going out to a bar with your friends. That sort of thing, where you're able to delay acting on emotions in order to focus on the things that really matter to you and are important to you. That's how you create a great life for yourself. And in regards to relationships, so many people hurt their relationships because they can't stop themselves from acting on their emotions. I'm passionate about this because it really upsets me how many people do this. I wish everyone had the ability to delay acting on their emotions because all of our relationships would be better. But instead, what ends up happening is somebody has a bad day at work, so they're all emotional from work. Then they come home, they can't control the emotions they had at work. They haven't fully released them because they've been ignoring and suppressing them in order to get throughout the day. So they've got all this pent-up energy. Then they come home, they see their partner, and they blow up on their partner who had nothing to do with those emotions arising in them in the first place. They start saying hateful things and causing arguments and just being emotional when they shouldn't be. Their partner doesn't deserve it. And even when their partner does piss them off and it's due to themselves and not any pent-up energy from work, they still will lash out in return and say hurtful things and cause arguments, maybe even throw things, hopefully not physically abuse, because that's another really horrible thing. So you see what I'm getting at. People act on their emotions so much and it causes so many problems. There are very few instances where acting on your emotions actually leads to positive outcomes. We have our brains for a reason. We're meant to think. Feeling your emotions isn't bad. And like I said, we can't control them. But you can always control whether or not you act on them because we have this guy to save us from our emotions. So practice that as much as possible. It's difficult, I know, but I'll give you a few tips that have helped me and hopefully they can help you. So what I like to do is I like to allow myself to feel my emotions in the moment, feel them rising up, because you don't want to ignore them and you don't want to suppress them because then they just linger. All that does is lead to you being that person who comes home and from a bad day of work and just blows up on your partner because you didn't allow yourself to feel your emotions. So even at work, when a coworker is pissing you off or you're super stressed out, allow yourself to feel that. Feel the stress, feel the frustration, but don't act on it. And the way you do that is by breathing deeply and slowly into your diaphragm in the moment. So when you're feeling that frustration from your coworker, just breathe. Breathe deeply and slowly. Feel where that emotion is arising in your body. Maybe you feel the stress and anxiety in your stomach area. Maybe if you're frustrated, it's somewhere else in your body. I don't know. Wherever you feel it in your body, try to focus on that location and focus on the feeling. but then just breathe deeply and slowly. And at the same time, try to feel your body and the environment you're in. What I like to do is feel my feet touching the ground. So literally feeling the bottom of my feet touching the ground, or touching my shoes, since often we'll be wearing shoes. So feel that, or you can feel your thighs and your butt and your legs touching the chair you're sitting in and your back touching it, or whatever. If you're holding something, you can feel your hand holding that object. Just try to become in your body, because when you're in your body and out of your mind, it's a lot easier to delay acting on your emotions, because quite often what we do is we disconnect. We make our body and our mind two separate entities that aren't linked anymore, because we're so often caught up in here that we're unable to just be present in our bodies and to just feel without acting. So when you're able to get in your body and shut off your brain, that's when you can delay acting on your emotions. And now I realize that that sounds kind of the opposite of what I was saying earlier, because I said our brains are what help us not act on our emotions. But in this case, it's more so you just need to practice these things using your brain so that your brain isn't your own enemy. Oh well, I'm confusing myself. I probably didn't explain this as well as I could have, but you get what I mean. You just need to get inside your body so that you can delay acting on your emotions, because usually when we're always living up here, that's when we're always thinking and planning on how to act out on our emotions. That's when we start feeling frustrated and we start thinking of ways that we can say hurtful things or a comeback to someone who pissed us off, or we may even envision ourselves slapping them or beating them up or whatever it may be. So you want to shut off your brain by just feeling. And then when you do that, just if you do have the thought of acting on your emotions, just delay it as much as possible, meaning don't act. So just sit there and say, for the next 30 seconds, I'm going to sit here and do nothing. And then do that. And if you still feel like acting on that emotion, extend it out another 30 seconds. And just keep pushing out further and further, trying to delay acting on your emotions as much as possible. This also helps with combating urges, because urges are pretty much emotion-based. So if you have the urge to go to a bar and drink, or the urge to watch porn or other things like that, then just think of this. Delay acting on it for as long as possible. Keep delaying that action. Every 30 seconds or so, keep delaying it further and further, and eventually you'll find the emotions and the urges go away. And that's how you reclaim control over your life, by not letting your emotions master you. Because if you can't control acting on your emotions, you're basically giving up power over your life to other people. Because all it takes is one person, even a stranger, to piss you off or upset you, and your whole day is ruined. So now that one person, who you may not even know, has just ruined your day. You've given them that power. You've sacrificed all of your internal power to control your day and given it to a stranger. Do you want to do that with your life? No. So practice these things and reclaim that power for yourself. Become one of these great people who are able to delay acting on their emotions. Because it's all you need to do. You don't need to stop yourself from feeling anything, because good luck with that. You just need to delay acting on your emotions, because that's what we have control over. Anyway, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!